Yeah, when you a lot of times when you're thinking about somebody, or say somebody's thinking about me or staring at me, I automatically turn around and spot them right away. So
Right.
I catch them staring at me. So it's like before something in me
Right.
realized that they were
There you
staring at
go.
me,
That
like
Rich,
they
you get it, man.
like they was hitting me with some type of like beam or some shit.
Right.
And
You can literally feel the
yeah,
eyes are a two-way street. You
yeah,
always think the eyes are receiving, but then you heard there's something called the evil eye
mm,
that you can give off. But I'm sure there's books that you could, but I knew I found it. But yes, that's exactly it. You could pick up on the energy through the eyes.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So now he's showing you just yet another way to energize the eyes to send a message through.
mm.
This book is fucking bad, yo. I'm telling you, it's fucking bad. He shows your ass, and if you could get anything by Frank Rudolph Young, that's the author. There's some of his work floating around. It's all old shit. It's all about psychic powers, visualization, and how to strengthen yourself. You will become a one-man army out of this shit. And then if you also add the astral traveling, forget about it. That's the receiving end. Once you keep fucking with that, it's exercise. Don't give up. Don't think it's about success. I was at Rich's house. Keep trying. People give up. They don't have faith in themselves. And then there's this little voice calling Rich that says, God is outside of you. It ain't in you, son. And then, and that voice is in you because you grew up in the church and that's all they told you. You didn't go through any rigorous training to unwind that shit. All you went was with new information and said, oh, Oshun, well, I guess she's God. And she's outside me. So I got to ask Oshun to give me something. Oh, I was doing this for Oshun to give me. Oh, Oshun allowed me to braid her hair in a dream. How many times you heard that shit?
Yeah.
I'm like, that bitch hair that nappy? Yeah, I was saying shit like I had twosomes with Yim and Ya and Oshun. All that shit is real. Oh, and I'm sitting there like they're not people. And your mom's had sex. If you what the trick was, and what Bobby did was the first trick was trying to show you that you're peer to peer with them. Yo, I talk to the gods and I curse them out and I argue with them. He's trying to psychologically show you that you're peer to peer with them. But he's telling you as their personalities outside because that's all niggas knew. So I was fortunate coming after Bobby to be able to speak more on their inside of your ass, their energy signatures, their aspects of your mind, their formulas for you to fuck with through your altar, through candle magic, through crystals, through breathing techniques, through meditation, through altars, through astral traveling, through chakra work, through goddamn everything.
Yeah.
Everything that you're doing is a way to access. You get what I'm saying? And there's nothing that escapes it. And this, to be a little bit arrogant, is the last hope. Ain't none of. Let's be real. And I'll do you one better. Let me just save y'all some time so I don't sound egotistical or arrogant. Bobby Hemmett used to say to me, a cult will be the last man standing. Because everything comes out of it. And I know people don't want to hear that shit. They feel what they got is what they got. But everything, if you're going to be healthy, you only should be you're healthy to do what? Study yourself. If you're going to be metaphysical, metaphysics is more of a description of the beyond, but not how to get in and do hands-on. So you talk about fractals, you talk about the Fibonacci code and the perfection of the numbers, but how do you access that shit? How do you get into that shit? There's my boy Casanova Rudd. I want to give his Instagram if that's cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's CASHANOVARUD. He was with, remember Super Lover C and Casanova Rudd? Rudd turned out to be conscious. He was the DJ. And Rudd, like night and day, something turned on. And this nigga, you ever see on in movies, that nigga 5 + 5 minus 7 equals 2 + 5. He went crazy with numbers. He knew all this math shit. Mathematicians is fucking with this nigga. He's like, I don't know how it happened. He didn't know shit about none of this shit. He draws these fucking patterns. Go to his Instagram, Casanova Rudd, CASANOVARUD. And then that nigga was called himself Nova. I said, damn, your God name was in that name. As much dumb shit we did in the 80s, because we all was kind of collective together doing that. Do the James, you remember that old New York shit. And so he was my nigga. So it's just good to see him conscious. But this nigga, something happened. He went crazy with numbers. Go see his shit. You won't believe what he's drawing. This nigga will draw patterns over and find shit in the Last Supper. Like famous pictures. This nigga, you gotta see this shit.
Casanova Rudd.
Casanova Rudd.
I'm checking that out.
Yeah, when people are seeing he's saying the line is already around the corner, he has to figure something out. When I mentioned it before, because when people see his work, and you could scry into his work, and he'll take your ass there. I think he's going to start doing personal ones. He's still setting up shop, but go see his work. Now, what was we saying before that? But yeah, so I guess psychomancy, I guess I was saying The Secret of Psychic Power Control by Frank Rudolph Young. Like I said, nowadays most people are savvy enough to get PDFs. So I barely say I got it and I sell it. I do if you're too lazy or you just want to support. I appreciate that too. I send it to you as a PDF, so it's immediate. And message. Let me put this phone on the other side. I send it to you as a PDF and it's immediate, but I'm not sweating it. If you feel like you should have it for free and you know how to hunt, happy hunting. I'm glad you should get it. But I think it's a very pivotal book. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Along with that astral traveling book. That'll put your niggas in the game.
Put you straight in the game.
Yes.
All right. Let's get to one last question, family. Once again, I want to thank all of you for staying with us. I gotta watch this one again. I think this is a good way to end it. Let me put this on the screen.
Okay.
Love the Universe wants to know, how do we make this lifetime our last experience on Earth, Panic?
It's all in your head. Think about this question for a second, Rich. How do we make this our last experience on Earth? Yet again, another backwards question saying you're not God. People don't believe it, Rich. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you read behind the question, if you knew you were God, you would say, well, I'm just not coming back on Earth. I'm in control. Even if you don't say the word God, I'm in control of self. That means you must believe, just by saying that, somebody's putting you here. That's that complex we have that white people put in our head through mind control, that they're sinister. And there's a sinister, evil, invisible hand always working. And to an extent it is, but then there are people who make that incredibly large for you to have that same mentality during your spirituality. How do we make this lifetime our last experience on Earth? Just don't come back. How do you make this the last time you fuck that ugly girl from school? You just stop fucking her, son. Would you think about that? Would you ask me that? How do I
Mm-mm.
stop fucking this girl, Panic?
Mm-mm.
You would be like, nigga, that's such a stupid thing because I just stop because I know what to do. So you have to get to a point in your study, in your spirituality, where you feel you know what to do. How do I not come back? Because I just ain't coming back. How you not coming back? Because you said you're not coming back. The first thing you need to understand is your mind is in control of it all. You got to understand the stuff I've been teaching for years. Bobby's been teaching, Brother Phil, about going, and others, many others, about going into self,
Mm.
going into the darkness, going within. So when you die, you have no body. So the darkness represent that which is within yourself. And then with KL, I did that meditation that night. That's what we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about that I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I seen a little golden light, and I knew that was him. If you walk towards the light, you walk towards the operating room,
Mm.
a birthing room again.
Mm.
You don't want to walk towards the light. You want to walk towards the darkness, which was within. And I found KL to
Mm.
come with me. And then I met him up with my boy Lou. Lou said, I got him. Then I went to sleep. Then he came back doing excited. Yo, I didn't know we were Egyptian. You know, he wasn't conscious of nothing. I didn't know we was Egyptian, man. I said, yeah, nigga. He said, yo, Lou is showing me all of this, and there's still this. He thought life was over,
Mm.
like any other human. And he seen there was more to it. But usually the average human would have to struggle in the astral world because the astral world is a part of this.
Mm.
Listen closely. What I found out, and I'm remembering this now, like as I'm telling stories, I remember the wisdom from it, that those who have helped spirits, when they die, the spirits are there for them. So
Mm.
remember, Lou was there for KL because Lou named the group Screwball. And while
Mm.
we were filming, laying next to all the girls, Screwball, 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 Lou said it woke him up. Because when he got shot at 23 with green eyes, the whole hood is a shame.
Mm.
And he had green eyes. You know how many girls he would have got? He said
Right.
all that was a magnetic pull that kept him in the astral world.
Mm.
Said he was like a law. There's a real saga of the lost boy where they can't move on and they can't come back. The soul is there, so they're like sleeping in the astral world because now they are magnetized to what nigga said. Look at all the girls he was gonna get. So because they don't have the mind strength, they're so young and they haven't learned how to control their mind. When they say shit like, how do we make ourselves stop in another lifetime? That's just another saying you don't control your own fucking mind. So of course, Lou can control his mind. The hood controlled it for him and created a heaven for him with a lot of girls in the astral world. So when we started doing all of this in front of the girls, we woke him up. He was able to see. He said then he was able to move on by us kept invoking his name around all the sexual energy. I was like, oh, nigga, you welcome. And I thought that was it. And
Right.
KL died like 2 days later. Lou, why didn't you tell me? It don't work like that, but get him to me. Got him to Lou. About 4 to 5 months later, KL came through. He said, yo, I'm chilling. We about to go see Richard Pryor. They have universes. I could tell you shit about that all day, too. Niggas like Gerald Levert's voice is a universe.
Oh shit.
If you want, like, going to see his CD is going to visit his worlds. He took B.O.B. did a song. It was about Gerald Levert. I think
It was called Gerald Levert, wasn't it?
Called Gerald Levert. Yeah, it was called
Yeah.
Gerald Levert.
Yeah, I think.
And yes, that was it. And so it was dedicated to Gerald Levert. We got some bird, and they was doing bird sounds and birds in the video. We got some bird liquor. It was the Akashic weekend. We poured to Gerald. As soon as we took the mushrooms on the second day, Gerald hit me hard. I'm on that chase, this nigga. And Gerald brought me to his world. And I remember saying to him, because you know, you still got your human mind. Yo, the architecture, the shit, some of this shit's upside down, nigga. He's like, yo, he said, this ain't this ain't the third dimension. He said, this is me. This is what is encompassed in my talent in the body exists as a place you visit of beauty. So, know how we put on a Gerald Levert CD and we in that Gerald Levert mood?
Mm-hmm.
Your moms will be like that. She put on some Shy Lights or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come in the house. Come on, Richard, dance with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Make you just do that slow dance with her. All right, get out of here. You don't want to dance. Right? So she's in that zone, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
That zone, you can go see it. You can go experience it like a world.
Mm.
And it's Gerald Levert or whoever. Richard Pryor, comedians have a whole thing. Scholars have a whole thing. Scholars, comedians, singers and performers, any creative thing in a category, it exists where you see it as an experience and you could just be there. You know what I'm saying? You could live in that place if you want. There's no time. So it's like hanging out with Gerald Levert, the CD until you're tired. So and they invite you to certain other worlds, deeper worlds. And he was showing me a deeper world and told me, he was telling me B.O.B. has residence there for just singing that song to him. So he dedicated this to Lou, and Lou took his ass out the astral world. Most of us scream ancestors, but we don't do nothing for them. We do something to get something back. We think it's a system of begging for rent money, a system to beg for your boss to get off your back, a system for money. It's not that. What do you do for them and just salute? Or for somebody and just salute? And that's what KL did from his heart. Named the band Screwball. When he told me, I said, oh, because Lou was like my little nigga. I didn't know his street name. I said, oh, I didn't know that was Lou. He said, yeah, that was Lou. He said, I named the band that and fought for it. I wanted to honor Lou. Lou's artwork was on the back. I said, you gave me a copy without artwork. I never seen that. And Lou said, when KL died, bring him to me. Lou was already dead since the 80s. Took him right out the astral world because you could get caught up there as part of the illusion. Remember in the beginning, I said it could be a hell. Watch the movie What Dreams May Come. It is a perfect description of the astral world and what happens when you die. Robin Williams, well, their kids die. The mother has a nervous breakdown. Her husband was the last string that was holding them together. Robin Williams, he dies. So they show you in the astral world. Cuba Gooding Jr. is hosting him. And long story short, they said, see this world? You made it. This is your idea of heaven. He said, this is a painting that me and my wife bought at a flea market that we thought was the most peaceful thing. It was hanging in our foyer, a dining room or whatever. He said, well, you're living in it now, your idea of heaven. Then when he went to visit his daughter, as he's talking to her, she's a Chinese lady, so he thinks he's just talking to her. Then he started remembering a toy she had. And she was in that world of her toy. Then Cuba Gooding Jr. said, look, when we're together, listen closely to this. When we're together, we're co-creating. They're in the astral world. When we're together, we're co-creating. But this is your world. So I could go back to my world and make whatever I want. But I could come here and work with you on some shit. So that's how we still have sex in the astral world. So there is another consciousness, or those things have remember I said all your personalities in the astral world? Once you die, all of them now become one in your spirit. There's no reason for your body to snatch it as it needs it. So now they all exist in the astral world. They come together as one now. So your girl can call on your sexual spirit or your angry spirit or people who knew you in whatever context can do that, right? And you can say it came at one, but they're probably calling on them individually because they all exist there, but separately in their own world or whatever. But now Or maybe not, or maybe it comes at 1. Doesn't matter. Now, so KL came, said he's about to go see Richard Pryor. I'm like, damn, nigga, you living it up. He said, let me tell you something. Remember those herbs you used to smoke? Yeah, the ones I made up. He said, put some more of that together and start selling it. Never, nigga. Remember, he was the ultimate hustler. They eulogized him with hustle, like this, saluting him that. That'll never work. Niggas are gonna hand this shit back in droves. Know what I'm saying? Because it worked your mind. It doesn't do it for you. It's a tool. You already know the rest.
That change your life,
right?
That change,
life changing, and that's from KL because I got him through the astral world.
Through the astral world. Wow.
Look, it's not and this was connected to his soul because he was freshly dead. So his soul was moved on. He loved the universe, would not have known how to not come back. You know better. You should know better. He doesn't know any better. So he had people to help and he was looking for me. And then I got confirmation. There was a girl who I'm not gonna say her name, but you probably know her. She was like, yo, I seen you. She called me. Yo, I seen your friend in the spirit world. She said, I was guiding people through. And your friend showed up. And he said, yo, where's Panic? As soon as he said that, you came through the room and snatched them. She didn't know I did that ritual that night. I said, oh, this bitch is on it. You know what I'm saying? So the astral world is a little bit tricky when you die because your soul does leave the body with you if your soul is even here. My soul is not on earth. I'm reflecting myself from a star. Remember Bobby used to always do that shit? You go outside and you can see that star. It always follows me. When C. Freeman died, we talked. There's another name for it, not Avatar. There's another more spiritually kind of name that they call it. But in this Hindu shit, that once you did all of this, you know not to have your soul fall back into humanity. Because you really could get lost climbing back out. But you know how to reflect yourself like an avatar, your consciousness. So when I die, I don't have to go through all of that. Bobby would and certain others, I would say. You know what I'm saying? Many of us who are on this side of the game, probably you too, if I were telling the story. You know what I'm saying? And you judge by heart. You judge by heart. Richard's, like I said, stand-up guy, more than so. So now, what was I saying? Oh, so what the fuck was I saying? Well, I can say this. I can't remember, like, that's when I'm in the spirit, when I just be losing what the fuck I'm saying. When my pops went, already had experience with KL. So I knew I could get a nigga out. Ready for this, Dad? He was like, no, I'm coming back. It was almost like it's no thing to him. So while it may be a big thing for us, because we thinking of the bills, remember, this is still a hologram, a dream world. So when you get on that other side, you may be going, no, I didn't get what I need yet. I don't care about that. This bodies ain't real. When I die, the real me is chilling. Nothing ever happened. I'm just putting on a suit. But when you're in that suit, oh, fuck, here they come again with these masks, these vaccines. When you're in the suit, no, the white man. So I get that, and everybody wants to die and not come back. But my father came back. Before I even said anything, my nephew had a son, my sister's grandchild. It's my father. Ain't no, she said this shit before I even got a chance. Everything, you know what I'm saying? It's him. He came back, like he said. And you just, we got to understand, we are of a divine mind, and there's levels in our mind. There's unconscious, subconscious, and conscious. Sometimes they mix unconscious and subconscious together, but Carl Jung kind of separated the unconscious a little bit more and talked about the unconscious collective and certain attributes of the unconscious mind. You know how to breathe, blink, and do all of these things. Either you could attribute it to the demiurge creating his body, or you creating it and making agreements in sciences with these functions. And you don't remember how, you don't need to remember or think about blinking. Just do it. What part of your thinking is that coming from in your brain? What part of that comes from? There's a part that is unconscious of your blinking until you pay attention to it. You understand what I'm saying? That unconscious part also said, I'm going to choose this mother. I'm going to do this work. I'm going to do that. When you get here, you don't know. So now you get to the other side and you remember a bigger part of your purpose. The reason you came down here in the first place. And you always knew it was a two-parter. Shit. Or you may be like, shit, nigga. Fuck that shit. That shit was fun, nigga. It's not real. Or you may wake up in a total recall bed and niggas go, nigga, it's 2014. You don't fucking know that. You know what I'm saying? And the things that you gotta do are in you. No one can tell you. You gotta look under every stone to come up with what you come up with. Because at the end, with whatever you come up with in your mind will be absolute fact. So you got to read behind your psyche when you say, how do we make this lifetime our last experience on earth? You tell yourself that. First, you need to tell yourself that you can tell yourself that. And then you need to tell yourself that. You haven't got to the point where you convince yourself that you can do what you want to do. How do we do that? All you have to do now is go on YouTube and listen to a fucking 18-hour lecture I did called How to Die and Not Come Back by what the pyramid text and what they said. So I've given instructions on what to do, but but you still coming back on instructions if you think something is guiding your ass, that you need to go to the left so you don't get fucked up. No, you'll know what to do when you convince yourself that you know
what to do.
In you.
Excellent answer, my brother. That's why he's the GOAT. That's why he's out here, family.
See, I'm starting to get souped up now. I'm gonna tell you why. Because there's so many lecturers that are gone now, and we coming up on like 13 years or so that I've been speaking. So now I'm starting to become not the side bitch as much. And now I kind of start to know what Bobby and Phil felt like when they started. Because remember, we the ones that started calling them master teachers and all of elders. Yeah. So now I'm starting to hear that a little bit more. So now I can see you start to be this guy. Yeah, bless you. Yeah, you know, before 5 + 5, you got to do that. You got to do. Then when you go back, then now it's like, yeah, beloved, I love you. Just keep up the good work. Yes, beloved.
Facts.
So I don't want to become too souped up.
I hear you, my brother. Leave your contact information one more time for the people before we get out of here.
All right, y'all all know me, so it's easy to find me. If you Google Brother Panic, the first page is everything I got. There's Instagram. It's like Bropan. No, it's BRTHA, Brother Panic, PANIC. So BROTHA. PANIC is Brother Panic. I have a Patreon, of course. Y'all need to join for exclusive content, which I'm going to put some more up soon. I'm looking to put more eye opener up. I just got to make CDs. I got a shitload of tapes still, which I still got all those tapes. And so exclusive content, patreon.com/Brother Panic. You can get my Facebook. My website is Occult Lectures, OCCULT LECTURES.com. There you could connect to my wife's website, Samdi Readings, SAMID. I'm sorry, let me do that over. SAMEDIREADINGS.com. There she does her readings, her classes, her workshops, chakras, Akashic, and a whole heap of shit you need to see. Everyone should know Khadijah by now and see what she got going on her site. You can connect to it through mine, which is Occult Lectures. My YouTube is the same thing, Occult Lectures. Cash App, I guess is the last one, $ Brother Pan, BROTHERPAN. Hit me up, keep the lights on, son. Everything counts and helps. And I always appreciate you guys. I always appreciate Rich's forum. I always appreciate
the God has to do. He has to set the energy right.
So
Rashad Jamal, first of all, my brother, welcome to my platform. Thank you for agreeing to come on to the platform. And without further ado, God, set it off right and set the energy and the frequency right, my brother, before we get started.
First, let me say I appreciate you, God, for bringing me on your platform. I have nothing but respect for what you are doing for the planet, which is sharing the information and the messages that the ancestors are sending through us all. So I just want to say, first and foremost, I want to thank you. And I appreciate your platform and everybody in here this evening. But before we get started, like I was telling God backstage, I say, hey, I know this your platform. But if it's okay with you, you don't mind if I set the correct vibratory frequency. And God behind me, he's like, yeah, God, do what you do. He watched a lot of the information in the university. So, for those of you who don't know me, what I always do before I give any messages, because I channel energy, I really don't like to use other mediums other than the ancestors, because we are gods and goddesses. So all answers that we are seeking for lie within ourselves. But sound healing is a big thing. So we're actually doing a 7-week chakra cleanse on my website right now. And we actually on the brow chakra. So this particular sound bowl will help to stimulate the third eye. And because I don't want us to just, discuss esoteric information, metaphysics, quantum physics, molecular biology, the different topics that we'll be going over this evening, without us being on the same vibratory frequency, it's imperative that we get there. So what I'm going to do is we're going to be doing 3 sets of 4. So what's 3 sets of 4? Okay. We are energy. Everything around you is energy. All right. So everything is vibration. Nothing ever is still. Everything is always becoming. I like how God mentioned the Hermetic teachings when he was just running the ad, because if you go study the Hermetic teachings, it teaches you one of the main principles of polarity, rhythm, vibration, etc. Understanding your universe. So you have north, east, south, west. We were told that these are just actual directions on the planet, when in actuality these are interdimensional realms within this realm of Atlantis that we live on, which we have been told to believe is America, right? Or the world, when you think of a world map. So we always want to send energy in a correct frequency to north, east, south, west, and the beings that exist in those certain parts of the realm. We also like to send the vibration to the elements: water, fire, earth, air, because each phalange, each finger aligns with a particular element. These are things they don't teach us in school, because being carbonated beings, non-ether beings, we are connected to everything around us. So before we roll into any download, I always have to send the energy to those elements, because the elements have as much life as you and I. And then the last set I always go to the 4 phases of matter. All right, matter makes up what you consider your physical reality, and the slowest form of matter is what we call solids, which is how you and I appear. So you have solids, and then the next vibration that's a little faster than the solids will be liquids, and the next vibration that's a little faster than the liquids will be gas, which is the spirit realms, and the next vibration that's a little faster than the gas realm will be plasma energy realms, and on and on. So plasma energy is the highest form of energy in this physical state of matter. So we always send a vibration to those 3. So that's what we're going to do right now. All right. So we'll start first with north. East. West. south. All right. Now for the directions. All right. Now for action out the directions. We did north, east, south, and west. So now for the elements. Starting with the most powerful element that was created first, which would be water. Fire. Air. And last but not least, wind. Solids. Liquids. Gas. And plasma energy. Ashe, ashe, ashe. That's that third eye. That's that sound bowl. Sound healing is a real thing. Let me see that light back. Sound healing is a real thing. God, I appreciate you clearing the room for a second so that we can all get on the right vibratory frequency. Sound healing is a big thing that needs to be discussed more within the community. Definitely when we're talking about metaphysics. How you feeling though, God? Talk to me.
Indeed, man. Listen, I'm feeling absolutely great, my brother. I think the time that we are in, it has boosted my morale and my mood, despite everything we see going on around us. Internally, I feel great. And sometimes my ego say, nigga, you see what's going around? Why what you doing feeling that good, nigga? And I'm like, nah, because I feel good. That's why I feel, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter what's going on outside. I got this inner feeling inside, and I know what that's about. The topic, my brother, I named the show tonight Serious Mysteries. I love what you talk about. I love what you present to our community. It's been so long that our community, the melanated community, could not have conversations like this because we felt like we had to focus on the white man or white supremacy. And I understand that. I totally get it. But several teachers, Dr. York, Elijah Muhammad, Dr. Delbert Blair, Bobby Hammond, Dr. Phil Valentine, decided to still talk about extraterrestrials, metaphysics, the cosmos. And because of those brothers, me and you are here today to continue that legacy. And I'm thankful for those brothers who came before us. One thing what I want to say to start the show with, my brother, is that in the melanated community, I hear so much about the Sirius. And I've heard you mention things I've never heard about Sirius X. I heard about Sirius A, B, and C, but you mentioned Sirius X. Now, I used to be subscribed to Gaia because I get information from everywhere when it comes to metaphysics. And on Gaia, a lot of the other cultures, they always talk about the Palladians. So you got one culture that always talks about Palladians. Then when I come within our culture, the teachers in our cultures always talk about Sirius. So I'm like, well, damn, why they don't mention Sirius and why we don't talk about the Palladians?
Right.
So we'll talk about that, but pretty much let's start out with that. Why is it that, you know, I'm always hearing about Sirius, and when I go over there to get information, I'm always hearing about the Palladians. And you can say who is the Syrians and who is the Palladians, you know, getting all of that, my brother.
Well, the truth be told, I mean, when it comes to the cosmic history of your so-called Black and Latino people, that has been more than hidden from us, right? It was a documentary that came out years ago called Hidden Colors. I believe they came out with maybe 5 or 6 versions of it, but it's a great documentary for anybody that's on their journey to start with. I would recommend checking it out because it opened your mind up to a lot of things that's beyond what we've been taught, you know, via social engineering. But when you're looking at Gaia, you know, like I always said on my platform, all right, when you're looking at Gaia, all that is these oppressors, right? You can call them the deep state, the cabal, whatever the hell you want to call them, all right? But at the end of the day, these are the oppressors, and they have hidden all our valuable esoteric information from us. And then they come out with these little series like Gaia or the X-Files or these cartoons, right? Or these movies, the Star Wars, Star Trek, right? Guardians of the Galaxy, and on, documenting all of our history, right? And when you come over to what's us, your so-called Black and Latino people, we have been hit with Jesus. So it's hard for us to get past religion. And for those of us that do get past religion, the furthest we might get is going back to the Dogon, which is the African tribe that kind of spoke about the Nomos, which are beings that come out of the Sirius star system. But because we are so powerful, we can never know who we are. And it's not really knowing, it's remembering. Because you come here as a soul and a spirit, you sign a soul contract. So there's no such thing as birth, for example. We are cosmic beings. So I like to teach our cosmic history. You can never die because you was never born. If you are a 9 to being with a carbon, what they like to call pigmentation. All right. I just spoke about this because this all ties into Pleiadians and why we don't hear about it. I just spoke about this in a lecture I did on my website called Neuromelanin maybe 2 nights ago. And I was discussing the difference between neuromelanin and melanin. See, the oppressor, he's very tricky. Remember now, who is the oppressor? Satan. But Satan has a million names. His cosmic name is Zeus. But he's hidden behind Satan in religion. He's also Jesus in religion. Because if you understand that Satan's cosmic name is Zeus, then you can understand who Jesus is in the Bible. Because who conquered the known world that they teach you in their American history book? The Spaniards did that. So when you say the Jesus name in Spanish, you get Jesus, right? Jesus, right? No different than with the story of Yakub, Prometheus, Enki and Enlil in the Sumerian text, Odin in Norse mythology, Satan and Zeus is hidden behind so many different names all throughout history. So when we're talking about the cosmic version of ourselves, many of us had those memories bleached away from our soul via nanobot technology when we entered this realm. We entered this realm through a portal called the womb or the vagina. So we come from the cosmos. A lot of people forget to ask themselves, where were you before you were here? See what I'm saying, God? You were here, but where were you before you was here in this lifetime? This ain't your first lifetime. This isn't your first experience. You are spirit and soul. You descended down into this realm from higher forms of energy. So you had to descend down to the lowest vibration to even manifest into this physical realm, which we call a physical body. Right. Okay. Now, once you manifest in this realm, you manifest through the vagina. This is why a lot of people be believing that we're taught in school because they got us thinking we're all one human race, right? That's what the oppressors did to us. We're all one human race. So you're taught in school that for 9 months, the mom is pregnant with this baby. But for those 9 months, it's nothing but a vessel inside of her womb. The spirit and soul doesn't enter the womb to the moment before the water breaks. Once the spirit and soul enters the actual vessel that the mother has been housing with her avatar, her body, then her water breaks and out comes this baby. So it's the fact that we have been cut off from that cosmic version of who we are, the essence of us when Source created us. And that part of us we have in our DNA, which we don't even have DNA because we are 9 ether beings with neuromelanin. We have DEA, which is deoxyetheric acid. And you can't even look it up, you can't even Google it, because if you Google DEA, they gonna tell you Drug Enforcement Agency. You see what I'm saying? They got all these gates and loopholes there for you if you ever even begin to peek just a little bit into the metaphysical you. So you're not gonna hear too many black scholars or intellects or that information being taught where we speak about the Draconians, the Alpha Draconian reptilians, or the many different reptilian races, or the Pleiadians, which is one of the many different extraterrestrial races. You're not going to hear too much about that. You're not going to hear too much about the Blue Avians, the Syrians, the Bazoofians, who are any beings that come from Sirius B. You see what I'm saying? The Aurelians, Sirius A stands for Aurelius. A lot of people don't know that. Right?
Okay.
And the beings that exist on Sirius A would be the Aurelians. All right, this is where a lot of your archangels exist. This is headquarters for a lot of your archangels and many other beings. When you get to Sirius B, you're dealing with the Nomos and other variants of angelic beings.
Right. Okay.
Because Sirius B, them the Bazoofians. So the Nomos and any archangel coming from that location will be considered a Bazoofian. No different than over here in this country, how they call us African Americans and Latinos, but everybody would still be considered Americans, right? They get that whole they get that whole breakdown from the cosmos, as above, so below. So when you see them having the police, we have that in the cosmos. We have police in the cosmos, but they're righteous. We have, like they have court down here, we have court in the cosmos, but it's a righteous court. You know, it's literally as above, so below for real. So when you're dealing with Sirius C, you're talking about that's Chronos. And the Chronophians, any beings that exist on Sirius C. This is where a lot of your Pleiadians were first created. Pleiadians, reptilians. Most of these beings all originate from Sirius C, B, or A. Now, Sirius X it's the essence. That's source. That's where the black woman who is God was created at. She created herself. She manifested herself out of dark matter energy. So at a metaphysical level, this dark matter energy is dark matter energy, right? But as it breaks down to the plasma levels, it becomes neuromelanin. As it descends from the plasma level down to the gas, to the liquid level, to the physical state, which is a solid, which is the slowest vibration, then this neuromelanin then begins to manifest as carbon, which is why we are carbonated beings.
That's when you talked about the phases of matter earlier. When you talked about the okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's important, God, because you have to understand, we believe we are physical beings because this is what we see, not realizing that you are only attached to this physical realm through your 5 senses. Take away your sound, close your eyes, touch, smell, taste. Where would you be? You would be in the center of the universe, which is where you really are the whole entire time. When you come here, this is an experience. This is an experience. This is why it's called light code lockdown. Because they have figured out a way to manipulate our energy. Remember, what are we? We are not these. We got to get past this skin. We got to stop calling ourselves black people. We not black. We not no African Americans. We not no niggas. We not no pimps, hoes, thugs. We not black people. We are Anunnaki gods and goddesses. That's the name of our species. And why are we that? Because we are the center of creation. If you want to call her the black woman, you can call her that. But she manifested herself out of dark matter energy. And after she created herself out of dark matter energy, because what is dark matter energy? Let's break down what dark matter energy is first off. Dark matter energy is what science fear. They call it antimatter. Okay, what is matter? Matter is everything around you that you can see in this physical. These are all forms of matter, right? This is what science teaches us. So what is antimatter? Anything that defies the laws of matter. Dark matter energy is so strong and it's so intelligent, it defies the laws of what they consider matter, which is why they call it antimatter in the most dangerous property in the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
The movie Venom was all about the neuromelanin, or the dark matter energy, or what they call in science antimatter. Now, we see these pigmentations and we think nothing of them. Oh, I'm just black. Oh, I just have a darker pigmentation. No, you have carbon in your skin. You have, and what is carbon? Neuromelanin. What is neuromelanin? Dark matter energy. What is dark matter energy? Dark matter energy is divine feminine energy mixed with divine masculine energy. They came together to make dark matter energy. The divine feminine energy was first. Then, out of the divine feminine energy, the divine masculine energy was created. The divine masculine energy is what gives dark matter energy its color. This is what makes it dark, because divine masculine energy is aggressive. Feminine energy is, so they teach us that feminine energy should be receptive and that masculine energy gives the directions. But in the balance of the cosmos, it's the opposite. The feminine energy gives the orders. The masculine energy enforces it.
Okay.
So when you got divine feminine energy meets divine masculine energy together, they met to create this dark matter energy. This is why it's so intelligent. It's an intelligence, and they kind of mimic that when they showing you the Venom movie and the suit having its intelligence before it latched on to Spider-Man, right? Right, it had its own form of intelligence. All right, now out of that dark matter energy, this is where you get your first black woman / what we call Latino woman, because the black and Latino woman is the same individual. The oppressor gave us different names to divide us from each other. But if you look at the genetics of a Latino woman, Latino man with a black, so-called black man or black woman, you're going to see the same genetics, same carbon, same connection, 9 ether beings. So she created what, out of that dark matter energy, you get this divine black goddess, if you want to call her that, the first Anunnaki goddess, who holds what they call the Eve gene, right? Or the meta gene, right? Because they consider us to be meta humans. This is why Facebook renamed itself from Facebook to Meta, right? Because the frequency rising, the planet coming back to the original aboriginal beings, which is us, your so-called black and Latino people. So now, this intelligent energy, you having the X and Y chromosome, created more. She replicated herself. So in the beginning, it was a tribe. We were just on Sirius X. It was no divine black males and any of that. No gods yet. It was just all goddesses. Just all goddesses.
On Sirius X.
On Sirius X. X stands for Xylanthia. This is where we from. We was on Sirius X. It was no Sirius A, B, C, no Earth, no nothing yet. In the beginning, it was just dark matter energy.
There was no Saturn, no Mars,
no planets,
nothing.
The planets.
No universe.
I'm taking you back.
Primordial
Energies. Before there was time. Because see, our souls remember this. It's just when we talk on these frequencies, that's what these bowls is for. They don't want us having those. That unlocks your genetics. It's sound. It's frequency. When we talk on this frequency, you'll begin to remember, because I'm not saying nothing that you don't know or anybody watching right now. That's why I always say, remember who you are. Because information is being put out here like it's new. It's none of this is new. You know, and then you have beings like myself. They might want to show me a lot of love or show you a lot of love, or certain other intellectuals. People is looking at us like, oh, we're their God, or because we are bringing information down to help you remember. But no, we're not your God. This information is being put in front of you for you to remember who you are. You don't need a book. You don't need anything. Everything is right here. You go within yourself in meditation. All answers lie within. These are memories. So books and lectures from myself and you and others are only there to help a soul stimulate those memories, unlock, unthaw those genetics, right? We've been frozen, lying dormant, right? So we got to remember in the beginning how it was, and it was just that point when it was just all goddesses. And then she said, hey, let me create a helper. That's when she created your black god, your first Anunnaki god, and told him to be fruitful and multiply. And that was the God's, that's our job, to provide and protect, to be fruitful and multiply. This is why we have semen, which are the seeds. When we do manifest into the physical, we come down with these seeds to further populate. And when we in the cosmos, in our cosmic bodies, you know, because we ain't number energy, luminous beings, right? Well, even when we in that state, we're seeding the cosmos. We were the ones that built the planets, that built the universes, that aligned the multiverse, that enumerated how many planets should be in this galaxy, how many galaxies should be in this universe, how many vortexes it should be, how many dimensions it should be, opening up stargates, right? We were seeding the cosmos. So in seeding the cosmos, once you get this whole village of us, the Anunnaki, then we begin to create other beings. This is where your Alpha Draconian reptilians come from, and your other reptilian species, and your Pleiadians, and your Blue Avians, and your Syrians, and your Lyrians, and your Nomos, and your Nagas, and on and on and on and on and on, right? Even your primordial energies, even the gods like Ra and Isis, Osiris, these are all real gods that still exist. You have people that think that Sango is Thor, right? I've heard that before. Like people like Thor, Sango, because you seeing certain gods in different, if you want to call them religions or ideologies and cultures, having the same traits. But that's only there to put there to show you that we are all connected. So if your ability is to tap into the plasma energy on a different level than me, but my wife's ability, she might have the same plasma energy ability you have, y'all gonna have the same traits because that's the galactic tribe you come from.
Indeed.
You get what I'm saying? So this is why you don't hear, because we got here how? We got here because you said, hey, you asked one question, right? That one question is gonna take us on a 2-hour journey because that's how deep it gets. You know, like when we talking about the Pleiadians, we gotta first realize the Pleiadians. Who are the Pleiadians? They are the pirates of the cosmos. So are the Alpha Draconian reptilians.
You said the pirates?
They're the pirates of the cosmos. Because
wow.
what they do is they go planet to planet, galaxy to galaxy, draining planets of its resources.
Wow.
When they first came to this planet, the Pleiadians, along with the Alpha Draconian reptilians. Notice I'm saying the Alpha Draconian reptilians because there are many different reptilian extraterrestrial races. And the Alpha Draconians are the ones that so happen to be here that's in cahoots with the Pleiadians and the hierarchy of human beings running our realm down here on planet Kai. Get what I'm saying? So we have to, that's why I say we have to, this is why they don't talk about this in school. Or you'll go listen to Gaia, and Gaia, they gonna give you some gems because they stole all our shit anyway. They just reciting our shit anyway. So they gonna give you a little gems, but then they gonna show you white faces. They gonna water it down. Like they already shown the Anunnaki is white people. You know what I'm saying? They gonna show you that. Just like when they showed you the pyramids, they always said the aliens invented them, right? But then now they want to tell you that the Pentagon want to reveal that UFOs are real. So it's like, it's not like this cosmic information isn't already known. All you have to do is look at all the movies. Where do you think they got the ideas from? Human beings, and I'm not racist. I only talk genetics and science, esoteric science right now. Human beings don't have a soul. They are soulless beings. Because you got to remember how they got here. After the black woman manifested herself out of dark matter energy, and then she created us and told us to provide and protect, we had to provide life force and creation, so we went out to create. But the first gods ever that the black goddess created was the original 23 scientists. And when the first, you had 99 goddesses in total that were created. When you go back home on Xylanthia and the cosmic level, you have a council of 9. These are like 9 eternal flames, but they are goddesses. But they didn't manifest. They didn't take on a shape. These are the oldest primordial energies in the multiverse. This is the council of 9. This is source. This is the source that gave us all our soul contracts and our missions. This is source, right? It's a committee. Now that breaks down to the Anunnaki goddesses, right? And then you got the Anunnaki gods. But before you even got that tribe of us as gods, you had just 23 gods at first. This was 23 scientists, and they were created. Their job was to create the entire multiverse. So this is why I've always taught on my platform, when I get to speaking about the true number of creation, I say, hey, it's multiple multiverses. But let's start with the one we're in. We are in one multiverse right now. This multiverse is composed of 9 universes. Each universe is composed of 999 galaxies. Each galaxy is composed of 999 planets. Each planet is composed of 9 realms within it. So the reason I'm able to retain that information is because I'm one of the original 23 sciences, and I came back and reincarnated in this life. Just like before I was in this lifetime, my last lifetime on this planet was Toussaint El Overture in the Haitian Revolution. So because we are in Endgame, you have all these indigo children here that start coming in 1950. These are your ancient souls. So that includes you. This is every god and goddess born after 1950 on up to now is an indigo child. Your indigo child are your souls that was here when the original war first started on this planet, when the planet was invaded. Because after the original 23 sciences was created and we went to erect the multiverse and set out to create the universes and things like that, then we begin to create more gods and goddesses. Then we begin to breathe life force into these different realities so that they can continue to create and be fruitful and multiply, because this is what the black goddess told us to do as gods. We was all at peace at this point. When we came to this planet, this was the last planet we created. This was the very last planet. Planet so-called Earth is located. We're in the night. A lot of us don't even know where we at right now because they didn't lie on all the maps. Right now, you're located in the 9th universe. We're in the 9th universe.
That number 9 keeps popping up.
Exactly. You always see 9 because 9, even in numerals, math and basic math that they teach you in school, because that's not real math. But the number doesn't go any higher than 9. After 9, you get to 10. 10 is 1 and 0 all over again. But you should ask yourself, why is 9 the highest number? Why is 9 representing completion? What did Tesla say? He who understands the power of the 3, the 6, and the 9 understands the secrets of the universe, right? And Tesla got that from us. That was true. That's why they did what they did to Tesla, his own people, when they seen what he was trying to get, what he was touching into. So you're going to realize that, yes, it goes no higher than 9, and you're going to see 9 in everything we do because we are 9 ether beings. You're going to see that even down to the follicles, even down to your ether. Even your DEA series, we have 9 DEA series.
Yeah, we do.
Right? They have 6. It takes us 9 ethers to get here. There's no such thing as time and space. I always tell people, time was a spell created by Zeus, by the oppressors. Who was that? Oh, there's only one oppressor here on this planet. It's not nobody else, black or Latino, and it's not even the regular white people that